Oh my god!
That's crazy.
You gotta bleep out the whole sentence.
Definitely will bleep.
Bang.
Hey yo, we poddin'.
Is that
That's the intro.
Delaney? I honestly thought you were dead.
Oh, I thought you forgot the intro.
Why?
Well, you did, because I haven't been here in so long.
What's up, gamers?
And non-gamers.
This is the Have Fun podcast. Welcome back. This is the podcast where we interview our friends like they're celebrities.
I really want to interview celebrities like they're our friends.
That's a great idea. We should get,
how do we get them?
Yeah.
We'd have to get access to them.
If you're a celebrity and you want to be our friend, let us know in the comments below. And also, by the way, I'm a host.
Yeah.
And also, there's a host over there. What's your name?
I'm Delaney. Sometimes I'm here.
Sometimes she's here, sometimes she's not. I've always been here. And how should we...
I'm just Alek.
This is Alek.
Hello.
Is he a guest? Is Alek a guest?
He's been a guest.
He has been a guest. He's a returner.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
like he's going to keep returning.
So, I don't know how to do this. Wait, maybe I'll do this.
Why are we clapping?
Guys!
Why would we clap before we tell them the news?
Because I just walked down out
we
of the
need a
limo
drum roll.
on a red carpet. That's why.
Guys, Alek is a host of this podcast now.
What?
Yeah. Woo! I made it. See, now I'm a celebrity. I told everybody. I told all my friends. I told my mom. I told my dad. I told my grandma. I told my great-grandpa. I told everybody I know that one day I was going to be a celebrity. I made it. I'm a celebrity.
My main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
Yeah. Who said that first?
That guy with the teeth.
Alek actually
yeah.
pretended not to know me today.
Oh,
He
really?
saw me in public and was too
'cause
cool for me.
Because, yeah, once you're a celebrity, you can't,
Exactly.
Yeah.
fraternize with
Right.
the lower class.
I said I'll come host your show, but I'm a celebrity now.
Which is
From your show.
So.
We can't talk.
We can't talk. That's actually the rule. Max and I don't communicate outside of this room.
So true.
Is that actually true?
Pretty much.
Unless our
Oh.
conversations are being recorded, we do not speak.
So does that mean that I
Yeah.
can't talk to either of you ever again?
Yeah.
Is that what happens when you become
Yes.
That's it.
famous?
That's it.
That's the rules.
Exactly. You can't even talk to your co-hosts unless you're on. Is co-host still its proper term when there's three?
Yeah.
So this is what Justin Bieber was talking about?
I don't know, was it?
It had to be.
What did he say?
Well, you see everything out there on social media right now. He don't want to be famous.
Oh.
He was caressed as a boy.
Yeah. Have you
Justin
seen-
Bieber?
Is that what happens when I become famous? Do I
You go back in
get
time?
caressed?
You get...
You go back in time and get harassed as a child?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's only if you become famous as a child.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the only certain
I think you're safe.
circumstance.
So if I wasn't harassed
At
yet,
the
it's
ripe
probably
age of
too late,
23.
and I'm probably okay.
yeah, I would say
Thank
so.
God, that's what I was most worried about.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
I get that. I get that.
Why do you get it? How do you relate to something like that? Have you been famous since you were a child?
He has been.
Yeah,
If
probably.
you
I don't know.
consider this show making you famous, Max has been famous his whole life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah.
When did you start podcasting?
I don't know. 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost a year ago.
No. It wasn't
vlogs.
I wasn't talking about this podcast. I'm talking
podcast.
about the Max and Johnny show. I'd consider that a podcast.
Oh, you would? Oh, that one had to be... Gosh, it had to be like 2007 or something like that. 2008? It was right around there.
Was
Did
4.
podcasts exist in 2007?
Well, he had the Max and Johnny show, so obviously it
It's a
did.
show. Well, it was a sketch show. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a
Oh,
podcast.
okay.
So what you're saying is
I've
you
never
were this
actually
close
seen
to
it, I
being Joe
guess.
Rogan, and you blew it.
That close. Yeah, speaking of the Max and Johnny show, it's funny you bring this up.
Okay.
Because the 150th vlog is about to come out where I watched the Max and Johnny show on the vlog.
Oh.
It's sort of like one of those things where you go back and watch your first YouTube video and react to it.
Yeah.
And that's what
It's exactly what that
It
is.
is that. It is. It is
It's
that.
exactly that.
It's not just sort of that. That's what it is.
Those are always
you bring
good.
that up.
150th vlog.
Yeah.
How many years is that?
3, I think. We started in 19.
Okay, well, it's 2024. So that would be
Oh, wow.
not 3 years ago.
Those years in the middle, I lose.
2020
He was like,
simply
the
didn't
podcast
exist.
started 6,
Yeah.
7, a year ago. I think the vlog is...
Yeah, we started the vlog. We started the podcast last summer.
Yeah. Well, I stopped vlogging in 2020, so... But then picked it back up. But
right. So
I
it
didn't vlog
really
that.
didn't exist in 2020.
Yeah, no. It was 3 times a week. No, twice a week.
Wow.
For like a straight year. And then 2020, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
You know what the best part about the vlogs are?
Yeah.
The best part is that they're like receipts.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be a day where I'm too old, too old to continue on in the ways I was continuing on, and my kids are gonna come home one day and they're gonna call me a bum, a slouch, a no good nobody.
That's what they're going to do when you're
Yes.
too old to do anything.
And I'm gonna go, oh, you want to see? I got it in 4K.
Literally. And there's
Literally
a lot
4K?
of crazy stuff that
A
happened.
lot.
Your kids are going to
no.
like watch your wedding vlog back.
Yeah,
Which are nuts.
And the
Nuts.
wedding vlogs are crazy.
they are crazy.
That shot of you drinking, what is it? It's a
At my
margarita or at your bachelor
Oh, my
party?
bachelor trip. Oh yeah,
Is
me
it-
getting pretty much waterboarded by a pina colada.
Pina colada. That's really sus.
Yeah.
I was
I'm like
watching that clip back.
aspirating on it.
I was like, oh no.
I'm literally, Delaney, I don't know if you've seen it before, but my whole back is in this huge farmhouse sink.
Oh, I've
And-
seen it.
Oh, you have?
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, no. Now that I'm famous, that can't ever get out.
That is out. That's in the world already.
Imagine if I'm,
Isn't
like,
it?
I
That's
go
on the
to a
blog.
job
It is.
interview and
Yeah,
they
a
pull
couple of
it
them.
out, like a screenshot of it. Like, can you explain this event to us?
I cannot.
I was just having fun with my friends.
Yeah, there's some crazy things. I've had to go back and actually cut some things.
On
From vlogs,
created
I've been
videos?
like, I can't. Yeah, like
I have been training. So Vila is going to do. People don't know this yet. I'm about to drop some Vila's
Lord.
secret information.
whoa,
But she's going to be competing in a pageant this summer.
what?
And so I've been like training her on the rules and like what can be shown on your social media. And she was talking about like, what if things come up from like middle school or like all this stuff, like, and I was like,
boy.
I don't know, because I don't have anything out there. Like,
If something came up from middle school, it hopefully is just something that would be embarrassing and
Right.
against the
yeah, nothing's like against the law. But we were talking about like things that could come up for either of us. And I'm like, all of my stuff would be Max because he records everything
Yes.
and posts
think about
everything
that a lot.
publicly.
Max could
And
literally
tax
get me
me and
impersonated
everything,
in
so
like
they're
40
really-
states.
I think about that a lot. Yeah. I mean, there's some clips that I won't even post on Instagram that are on this podcast, but like I won't post them on Instagram because I don't want everyone to
That's
see
so.
them.
Yeah, but what happens
Max
if one
sent us
day...
a clip the other day. Both of us. He sent us both a clip the other day and was like, "Can I post this?" And I was like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah, and it's on this podcast. I'm not going to say what it was because nobody watches YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, our videos are too long. You guys aren't watching these.
Everybody watches Instagram though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I get in trouble. Like when people see the clips, they're like, "You cannot post this."
People come up to me at school all the time and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I watched your podcast." And I was like, "You did?" And they're like, "Well, like the Instagram clips."
Clips.
Here's the thing that
Right.
scares me about all that is when Max asks me if he can post something,
It's already no. If you have to
I
ask,
already say yes. Like
Oh my
before he
gosh.
asks me in my head, I'm like absolutely. Like there was one time on here where you were talking about pennies. I don't know if you remember that. How many
Yeah.
pennies I had or something. And you texted
Oh
me.
my gosh,
and you're
I
like, hey,
remember
do you
this.
care? And I'm like, post it.
I remember that.
Like my own worst enemy.
Yeah, and then Michaela came up to me afterwards. She goes, "I can't believe you put that in." I was like, "Well,
He
Had
said I could
permission.
do it.
yeah."
Yeah, don't ever ask me.
If Max has to ask me if he can post something, it means no.
Yeah, because my bars
Right.
of stuff that I'll put up is high.
No, your bar is very low.
Oh,
you
low.
have a
Oh,
low
right,
bar.
Low.
So if you're
If it's
questioning
if it's that bad,
it's
yeah.
that bad.
Yeah. It also comes with like age too, like I said, because stuff that I posted in 19, now I'm like, oh, I gotta get rid of that
Well, that's
before
the
anyone
thing
sees
about
it.
the
boys
clip that you
wrestling.
sent us. Like, that's something you would have been okay posting a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you were okay doing a few years ago.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
you were telling a story of something you actually did. And, like, if you did that now,
I actually almost saw somebody do in high school. I was almost a witness to it, but it didn't actually happen.
At the middle college?
No, do you remember the clip you sent us last week?
It's the episode. If you guys want to know the episode, I'm not going to say what happened.
Oh my god!
But
Yeah.
it's with Ava and David. It was a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Is it that? It's bad.
It's bad.
It's so
bad.
almost illegal. It's almost illegal.
It is illegal. If it occurred, it would have been
luckily
illegal.
Luckily it didn't.
Well, if you almost kill somebody, it's not murder. It's just attempted.
Right,
What's
which is
the intent?
still
It's the intent.
which still is illegal. It is still illegal to try and kill someone and fail.
Yeah, because what we were talking about, if you attempted to do that, it's still illegal.
Yeah.
You still intended on carrying that out. Wow,
Yeah.
good thing she's here, because I'll tell you what.
Huh.
When it was just you and me sitting on this couch, I had no control.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Thank God for
I
her.
bring a filter to the room.
She does. You need it. You need it sometimes, you know?
Yeah, the boys takeover episodes. So much stuff gets through that would not get brought up if Delaney was here, I think.
I was hanging out with these guys the other day, and one of them was like, "Oh, I like have a funny joke, but I can't say it while Delaney's in the room." And I was like, "If you can't say it around me, maybe we shouldn't be saying it."
Was it only you? What was the gender dynamic? Was it one girl
Yeah.
versus multiple boys?
Yeah.
I find that's when, unless it's like an even split, the boys just,
Just take over.
Yeah.
take
What are you
over.
saying? Oh,
if
yeah.
there's 4 girls and 4 boys in a room, I won't make a certain joke. But if there's 8 boys in a room and if there's
It depends what female it is.
That's true. I
that's
think
also
that
true.
I hold a higher, if there was a different girl in here, you wouldn't hold back
See,
so
I
much.
played
yeah, it depends on the person.
Jackbox games with you a couple times.
Oh my god.
I don't remember what it was, but remember that one time it was all boys. There was
I
literally
came
probably
to
10
boys'
That's what I'm
night.
talking about. This is
I
the type of
came to
situation I'm
boys'
talking
night,
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I played Jackbox, and you all held back,
Yeah.
and I didn't, and I won.
Yeah, there was
Yeah, she
10
went
of us.
crazy
What did
out
she
of
say?
pocket.
I don't know if we
That
can
was
say it.
not-
I don't
no, you
remember.
definitely can't. You
Do you
definitely
remember
can't.
what she said, though?
Yeah, I remember what I said.
I remember it was.
I remember, and then
I'll
we're-
bleep it out.
Okay, say it.
It was something about. Do you remember?
It was.
Oh my god! You gotta bleep out the whole
I
sentence.
definitely will bleep that out. That's absolutely
Wow.
so out of pocket.
She'll never get hired anywhere. But I remember
That
we were
is
sitting there,
absolutely not.
and we were like kind of getting pissed. The guys were, 'cause there was a couple dudes that were going like really above, and a couple of us were like me. I was like, and usually I don't have much of a filter, but I was like, man, like Lainey's in here, and then she hit us with that, and I remember we all looked around and we all went, Nolan,
Yeah,
bro, come on.
Yeah.
It was Delaney.
yeah. I would have never expected Delaney to say anything that crude. That was absolutely crazy.
That was insane.
And I won the whole game.
Yeah, rightfully so. You should have.
But there's some girls that have gravity. You know, like the boys that are required to cancel out their energy that tames us.
Yeah.
You know? Not in a bad way either. Like sometimes the boys need tamed. You know? Because
Right, I
if
agree.
we lived like those boys trips all the time, a couple of us would probably be dead by now.
You definitely would be.
Yeah, I would be dead. Thank you, McKaylee, for keeping me alive all these years. But like if McKaylee's in a room, I need a five boys deep at least to break the glass, to not care what anyone hears me say. You know,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Fran's got like for me, dude. Fran 6 or 7 boys required.
Yeah.
because I like
Yeah.
I respect McKaylee. Well, obviously she's my
Less?
wife.
Were you gonna just say
but
less?
no,
He did actually say less.
but she's my wife, so she hears me say stupid stuff all the time.
Yeah, if you can't be yourself around your wife, you kinda-
Right.
You know? Right, like I'll say anything in front of McKaylee, but I won't say anything in front of McKaylee in front of the boys, if that makes sense.
Okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
you. For me, it kind of depends who's in the room, because if I don't have any sort of like aspirations or what is that the right?
I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say.
What are you trying to explain? Explain the word you're trying to
If
say.
I'm not trying to impress anyone in the room,
Oh.
I don't give a frick.
You'll just say anything.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So if it's like me, Joe, Aiden, Trey, Caleb, Anderson, you'll just let it just sling. You'll just rip it out.
yeah. Yeah. Now, I don't know. A couple years ago, I literally would say anything. Now I don't say everything, but that's just for my own personal sake.
For your protection.
Yeah.
For if you ever
Yeah.
actually become really big famous from this.
Yeah, I guess you could call it like I have a little more morality now than I did a couple years ago.
I'd agree with that.
But I sort of believe that every joke should be made, but not by me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I disagree with that statement.
Well, I figured you would.
Right.
I figured you would. Mine, I'm kind of... Well,
So
I'm
what's your
far around
strategy
here
for
over
that?
the
And
joke.
if you can't make every joke, do you try and ease other boys into making it?
Oh,
like,
no,
do you
no,
just
I
put it
just-
up on a tee for him just to hit?
No, I wouldn't make every joke that Chappelle makes. But I think he
like-
should be making those jokes. You know what I mean?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's...
You don't know who Dave Chappelle is?
He's like number
When we're
one,
famous,
number
we'll
one
meet him.
Comedy.
When
He'll
we're
say-
more famous.
He's almost known for like saying whatever he wants and he doesn't get in trouble.
Interesting.
Or he does, but...
Do you guys know Matt Rife?
Yeah.
Yes.
My mom and I were talking about him the other day, and I was like,
70% of his fans are females.
pretty sure he's like majorly canceled. And my mom goes, well, he's really inclusive. Talking about the people that he will make fun of. Because we were watching a
Yeah.
clip of him making fun of somebody for their wheelchair.
Yeah, well, that's what comedians... That's the
Yeah.
point of comedians, is to push the bar.
But we had been talking about earlier that day, like the difference between being accepting and being inclusive. And she's like, well, he's really inclusive.
What is the difference?
Well, there's like a difference between like being okay with somebody having a disability and like being around them and then actively including them in your life.
Wow, that really makes my head think really hard.
Yeah, let me process that real quick.
We're
Say it
talking
again,
about-
but a little slower.
Okay.
For my
You have
sake.
to
We
remember
were
there's
talking
two boys on
about-
the couch now.
We were talking about unified bowling. And if you
Okay.
don't know what unified is, it's a program through Special Olympics where there's equal parts athletes with intellectual disabilities and without. And so
She says it so much better than me.
it's my job.
It is.
She's media trained.
I am. We were talking about like the difference in like our partners who are like super accepting of their athletes' disabilities and like they're able to help them play bowl or like play or do whatever. And then the partners that are like inclusive and like are being friends with the other athletes and like talking to all of the athletes and not just the other partners.
Like talking to everybody that's at the event, not just the people that are on their...
Talking to everyone on their team. Well, bowling is like a hard sport because there's not really teams. But like we were talking about partners talking to only partners or partners talking to their athletes. And like the difference in how
So
they
you're
talk
saying
to
that
those
some
people.
of them talk differently
Yeah.
between the two? Okay,
Like,
I see.
Like we were talking about, we have a partner who's like super social and like is friends with all the other partners, and he's really good one-on-one with his athlete, but he's not friends with his athlete the way that he's friends with his partners.
I get you.
I see.
Like it's accepting, but it's not inclusive.
How did we get here? What did we cascade into accepting versus inclusion for?
Matt Rife.
Oh, right.
Matt Rife.
We're back.
Okay.
We're back.
Thank God she's here.
Yeah, for real.
But what about Matt and his six-pack?
He is inclusive in his jokes.
Even though he's making fun of him.
Yeah.
It's like...
I make fun of my friends.
It's sort of, I think, the intent, if you're like... And how funny you are.
You guys know Ricky?
Yeah.
We
Oh,
all
yeah.
know Ricky.
We know Ricky.
Ricky lives with me. He's got nonverbal Down syndrome. I get told all the time that I'm too mean to Ricky because I bully the crap out of the
They
kid.
ain't seen Ricky.
I bully all of my friends. Personally, I think it would be less inclusive of me to not be mean to Ricky.
And he's like your
yeah.
sibling, essentially.
And yeah, he lives with
Like,
me.
I'm
so he
way
is
more
like
mean to my brother than I am my friends.
Right.
He's my brother. Of course I'm going to be
Right.
mean to him. I see him every day.
Yeah.
And Ricky knows what buttons to push on you more than he does another individual.
And he pushes them.
Yes. Yes.
He pushes them. So I think it's more inclusive of me to be mean to him.
I actually agree with that. Because if you're mean to the whole world, you better be mean to the whole world.
Are you saying Delaney's mean to the whole world?
Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself like a mean.
No, I'm just saying if you are, if you
Someone
don't like
did
everyone,
say that I was a mean girl the
Don't
other
like
day.
everyone.
I was kind of offended.
like the movie,
If you weren't in the movie, you're not a mean girl.
She compared me to the movie.
which one of the like the blonde one?
I don't know. Which one do you think I'd be? There is a right answer to this.
I've
by the
never
way.
seen it.
You've never seen Mean
That's
Girls?
a really funny movie.
No, I've never have.
You should watch Mean Girls,
I
and then
will.
you should watch the musical.
The musical.
I didn't see that one.
It just came out this year with Renee Rapp.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It's so good.
Okay, you know how everyone has like their guilty pleasure song playlist that they listen to? Like, you know how they always ask athletes, "Oh, who's your guilty pleasure?"
The blonde one.
Song.
You think I'd be the dumb blonde or like the main blonde?
She is. The main one. You think you're the dumb one?
No, I
She's
don't.
bad.
No, I don't think I'm either. So
You're the blonde.
You think you're Lindsay Lohan?
No, I think I'm Gretchen Wieners.
Say it.
Is that the girl with the black hair?
Brown hair, brown curly hair.
She's like
She's got brown curly hair in the original.
She's the friend.
Yeah, of the blondes, of the two blondes. Okay, there's like
I forgot about her.
she's my favorite.
She's the last one that I thought of. Sorry.
I think that's me.
Yeah.
I would be her.
I don't know what to say, but you're probably right.
Yeah. Now that I remember her, I'm like, okay. But she's not. I mean, you're not Lindsay Lohan, and you're not
The dumb one.
the dumb one. You're not.
But I'm also like
rebel
not
girl.
like the mean girl.
Yeah, that's true. You're just like the one who's along for the ride.
Yeah, I'm just like there. I'm just. And
Like
she's
me.
like she's known for knowing everybody else's business. Like she has all the
yeah.
secrets.
The T.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. You got to watch that.
You
one.
really do have to watch that
I
movie.
will. I can't. I honestly kind of surprised. Maybe it's because it's called Mean Girls, and as a boy, I wasn't necessarily.
I had to watch
it's
it
taken
in my
there.
health class in high school.
Oh, what?
Really?
'Cause
Why?
If you have sex, you will die.
That's such a good line.
In the movie?
Yeah, they say that in the movie.
Oh my gosh.
In health class.
Wow.
In their health class, they say that in the movie.
I thought you was looking at something too. I was
So
like,
did I. It's
But-
an SNL movie.
No, we were talking about like healthy relationships in health class and we had to watch it.
It's funny. That's like one of those things that just almost relates, but the teacher's like, I want to watch a movie.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yes.
Because
That's exactly what
the
it
teacher
was.
Only
everyone
that one
likes.
I mean, my health teacher was also our football coach.
Oh, that makes it. Yeah, that works.
Just like the movie.
Makes a lot
As
of
long
sense.
as the movie somehow relates to that teacher having to do less work, like we're watching that one.
yeah.
We're watching
Absolutely.
it. But
I appreciate it, Coach Clark.
Yeah, you know you gotta respect it. Thanks to the teachers out there that made us do absolutely nothing. All of you guys, lifesavers. Because there's always that one teacher that goes, when you get to college, they ain't gonna deal with this.
Yes,
well, you're
they do.
right. We'll just stop paying. We just won't go to college.
Oh, I go to college and my professors are the exact same way.
Yeah, there was only like 2 classes in my entire college career that like the teachers really cared and I had to try.
College, I think, is more easy than high school. Way less busy work. You just they tell you they show you every single assignment in the syllabus you're gonna have to do for the whole class, and then you just know if you do this many assignments, well, you're gonna pass. If you don't, you're gonna fail. In high school, they're like, well, everyone kind of sucked last week, so we're gonna add this stuff that we didn't even have created a week ago into the class so that everybody passes. It's weird.
Because high school was all about passing and college, like you're choosing what you're studying, so you're choosing how you learn. The harder
true.
you work at it, the more you learn. The less you work, the less you learn.
And you're paying.
Exactly. So it's like all on you.
Yeah.
It's
This
true.
This is a separate thing.
Okay. Max is changing the topic.
Delaney, I've been waiting to tell you this until you are back.
I'm back.
I found out about it a little bit ago.
I have news too. Okay, keep going. You do your thing first. I just remembered.
Did you know that they're coming out with coconut Dr. Pepper?
I didn't know that, but I don't really like coconut. That probably would have been like a much bigger deal if I liked coconut.
Yeah, you like Dr. Pepper. That's why I
love
waited to bring it
Dr.
up
Pepper.
for you.
I'll still try it,
Yeah,
but I don't like
a lot.
coconut.
When?
I think like fall.
That is exciting.
Coconut's one of the best things ever
I
created.
like coconut a
personally.
lot. I used
Do you
to carry
chew
a
on
bag.
it?
I used to carry a bag in my bag, and I would just pick at it. Little bag of shredded coconut.
No way, dude! I
That's
thought I was
weird.
the only one.
Yeah.
Dude, I love coconut.
So
Give me a little pina
Why is
colada
there a
on the
head
beach, some little
massager
coconut
behind you?
shreds. So you found out there's Dr. Pepper coconut. What did you find out?
I didn't find out anything. I just got a gift. Max, do you remember what you got me for my birthday?
A record.
A pink Barbie record.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know if you have a record player, but you can use it as a decoration.
got
if
a
don't."
record player?
And I didn't have a record player, but my mom had a record player. So I did get to listen to it. My mom just got me a pink record player.
Whoa.
Perfect combo.
So perfect.
What brand is it? Is it like the big, what's it called? Starts with a V. It's like the big brand that's like at Walmart and everywhere.
I don't know. She got it from some like overstock website. So we didn't even know if it was actually coming. And then it did.
That's epic. I mean,
So
that's
it's,
what you
like,
got to
super
do to
cheap.
find a pink one, right?
A pink one.
How do you find a pink record player?
And it's so good.
So do you want to find out this fun fact that you know how I like to tell fun facts about animals?
Oh, it's that segment again. It's the segment where Max talks about animals.
What is there a name for it? Is it called
No, we just said
fun?
that we...
Fun. So there's no name for this segment.
Is
We don't have
it
one.
useless or useful?
It's a fun fact, so it's generally just a thing that people, they say because it's a fun, fleeting moment of
Sure.
distraction.
Like that time I talked about how much baby hippos weighed?
Yeah.
Stuff like that? Okay.
It is
And like the time that Max talked about praying mantises over and over
I'm a big
and
fan.
over again.
I mean, they're... Okay, anyway.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
I found out today, I was Googling if I could rent a capybara. So I Googled...
Can you? I love capybaras.
You can see them, but around here, you can't have someone bring one to you.
Dang it.
Just not around here.
Okay. Like, where do we need to go?
California.
That's far.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
so the state that's the most inclusive is the most okay with using animals for money?
Well, that's
Absolutely.
Hollywood.
That's exactly what California is known for.
So... Is it capybara or capybara? Because there's that song on TikTok.
Capybara, capybara,
I think it's
capybara.
just however.
Capybara.
It's however you want to...
I think it's capybara, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was Googling capybara for rent, right? And then the first Google autocomplete correct said capybaras for Lent. And I was like, what's up? So I clicked on it and it says,
Why did you want to rent a capybara?
it doesn't matter.
Who wouldn't?
So it says, fun fact, capybaras are eaten during Lent in Venezuela because they're considered fish by the Vatican.
They're considered fish?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I'm like shocked that people eat them. Like,
Aren't they the
People
biggest
eat all
like
types
rat?
of
Aren't they the
animals.
biggest rodent?
Yeah, it's
And
like
you're eating a rodent.
Well, it's like eating a bunny or a rat, which in some other countries they do.
right.
They eat rats in other countries?
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know.
eat
I don't know about
dogs in
rats, but I
China.
know that they
Yeah.
eat other rodents.
Yeah,
So my dog's like a fruit snack
yeah.
in China.
I think the confusing part about it is
no.
that they think they're
Nope.
fish.
Nope. Nope.
Yes.
Is that the
We
Pope?
didn't say that. That didn't happen.
What?
You eat your wait, what did you say? I actually missed it.
Not everywhere in China, but there's regions of China where
they're
if-
not allowed to do that anymore. They're not allowed to do that. At the
That's
end of this
illegal.
year, I think
Since
it's
when?
illegal.
That was one of our other animal fun facts I brought up. Weeks
This just
ago.
made me think of another animal fun fact.
Okay.
everyone
But
say
first
'em.
of all, let me say that I looked into this Lent thing for like 2 seconds, and it's not true.
Oh,
Oh.
good.
It was people like trying to
Yeah.
slur the Catholic Church and say the
Just
Pope
stir
said that
things up.
capybaras were fish. It's actually not true.
That's a
They are
really weird thing to
rodents.
come after somebody for. We're canceling this guy. He said capybaras are fish.
The popes over all of the world have said some crazy things, right? Like time wise, not like there's popes in every different country. I know there's one, but like that's the thing. Capybaras are fish, and that's the worst thing he said.
Do you know how long you have to look through someone's like receipts and files for that to be the
But he
thing you
didn't
pull
actually
out?
say it.
No, he didn't. It was a lie.
just
It was
made it
completely
up.
a lie. It was someone trying to make him look bad. Which pick one of the things that was bad that he said.
Yeah. Like I'm sure he said something bad. You don't have to make it up.
Oh my gosh.
Because-
yeah.
They are corrupt
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy things.
going on
That has
in the
happened,
Catholic
yeah.
Church. Like a lot.
Everybody,
Yeah.
it's been public for
Everybody
a while. but
knows.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
They might be eating things way worse than capybaras. Maybe they have like King Kong.
Guys, this is so unrelated. But I was talking to this girl in my Bible study who was talking about her priest at her Catholic church and how he like left or he was fired or something. And he stole all the gold in the church before he left. And I sat there in shock thinking about where did he get gold in the church? And I was picturing this man running away with like bars of gold. And she had to explain to me that she meant like
Candelabra.
the decorative, yeah, like the decorations that happened to be gold.
Yeah, I also immediately thought bars.
And I was like, you guys just have bars of gold like sitting around in your church that he was able to steal. I was picturing him opening this big safe and like grabbing as much as he could and running.
Dude, what the heck? You know what? I have a crazy story about Catholics.
Okay.
Now that we're on the topic. So I used to work at a hospital in downtown Toledo. And people can look this up online, so I don't care that I'm talking about them like this. The people there are great, but their history
Are
is
you about
insane.
to break HIPAA?
No. Do you want me?
Do you want me to?
Do you want me to? But no. So nursing licensed people, Laura, that are watching us from Michigan, I swear I've never broken any HIPAA violations until now.
Until right this second.
Right. No, but anyway, so this hospital, okay, it was built in like the 1800s. They built this crazy cool Catholic church in the middle. And then, like, it's crazy. It's marble, super huge vaulted ceiling, stained glass, beautiful, beautiful. And I was working there, and one night, a nurse goes, "Oh, did you hear about the murder that happened in there?" I had been,
what?
During COVID, I went into the chapel, which was the whole church. So they built the chapel, and then the hospital was built around it. Like, it literally encapsulates it like a circle, okay?
Interesting.
And nuns ran it until the late 90s. But anyway, they're like, "Oh, you didn't hear about the murder?" I'm like, "What murder?" And I was always really creeped out by the church in the middle. I would go in the front doors and I would pray, but I would never go to the front. Like, I'd start walking up toward the front and I'd be like, something does not feel right, like spiritually. And so I would go back and leave. Well, she starts telling me how there was a nun who got stabbed. This is a huge discrepancy, but it was somewhere between 30 and 80 times. I can't remember if it was a 3 or an 8 that I read. But she was in charge.
Those are like crazy different numbers.
Yes, so I'll have to look it up. But she was in charge of like keeping the chapel clean and orderly, and a chaplain killed her. So he stabbed her 31 or 81 times, one of the two. And it was in the shape of
I don't know what a chaplain is outside of sports.
It's just like an assistant priest.
Was that what that means?
Yeah, like they go around, they pray for people, holy water and stuff like that. So like at hospitals, they'll have chaplains, like when families mourning over a loss or someone's like about to die, they'll come up there, pray over the person, put holy water on everyone's hands, pray for them. They're like just there for a support for people, pretty much. So anyway, this guy stabbed her.
Never been to a Catholic church.
And then I only have once, and he did it in the shape of an inverted cross, put a bunch of Bibles around her, covered her body with a sheet, and they didn't find her for a while. And it was up in the front of the church in a room that was over there. And I always would look at that room, and the lighting was not good in that area. And it would freak me out. Like, I was like, ooh, those rooms, like, no one's ever in here when I come in here.
That's demonic.
Like, that's freaky. And that happened in the hospital. And so...
Wait, did it happen, like, in the hospital? Like, when the hospital was there? Like, before it was... Okay.
It happened in the 1980s, I think. And they didn't catch the guy till, like, 2004.
What?
He got away with it for, like, 20-some years.
And he, like, continued to work there?
Yes.
Bruh.
He got away with it. So a guy that literally stabbed somebody, like, either 31 or 81 times, one of the two, was actively going around and praying for people after just killing somebody in there.
That's so demonic.
That's horrible.
Yes. Isn't that insane? And what led to this conversation is during COVID, I was working in the ICU, and we had a room that had just become empty the day before, but I hadn't worked for a week, so I didn't know why it had become empty. We move people around all the time, right? They needed a piece of equipment from there. So I walked in the room. The second my foot went past the door, all the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and it felt like there was 1,000 pounds on my shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I'm just being a wimp. I'm just being scared of the dark. The lights are off in here, which I knew that wasn't true because I'd seen so many crazy things, and it was pretty hard for me to get scared by something at that point in the middle of the pandemic. But I was like trying to rationalize it in my head. So I kept walking in the room to go get the equipment on the other side of the room, and it's getting worse the longer I'm in there. And then I go to walk out, and the second my front foot goes past the boundary of the door and hits the floor on the outside of the room, it instantly comes off of me. Instantly. And so I take all my stuff from that side of the hospital unit, and I put it on the other side. And I'm very talkative at work. And my coworkers were like, after like 20 minutes of me not saying something, they were like concerned. They're like, hey, are you okay? Yada, yada. And I was like, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I got to tell you what happened to me. So I tell them, and then they tell me, they're like, Alek, we were both here last night. You didn't hear what happened? I'm like, no, what? And they're like, some guy that was in his 40s that was recovering and doing better from COVID and wasn't supposed to die, developed a blood clot. And if the doctors would have gotten here in this amount of time, he probably would have lived, but they didn't listen to us and they didn't get here fast enough, and he died.
That's terrible.
And I was like, in what room? And like, in that one.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
That happened to me at a Spirit Halloween once, no joke.
At a Spirit Halloween.
Yeah. No, I know it sounds like a joke.
He's having a midlife crisis in the front yard decorative section. All the werewolves and stuff are screaming at you, and you're like,
I just walked in there, and as soon as I walked into the door, I felt really sick. And then when I walked out, it was just a spiritual thing.
wow, it's real. It's the real deal. It's
Really?
real stuff.
Spirit Halloween. You're
Yeah,
probably
and
getting
it's kind of
convicted.
confusing because I guess I maybe, but it's kind of confusing because it is just like a traveling Halloween store. But
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it has to be the building, right? It can't be Spirit Halloween's fault.
Yeah, I don't think it's the corporation's fault.
It was just a coincidence.
you know,
Unless it was. Maybe you
no
really
such
were
thing as a
getting-
coincidence is what I've heard.
Oh, you're right.
So it's someone there is. I mean, weird people work at Spirit Halloween. Probably the people
Yeah.
that were working are just carrying around something in their spirits. It's.
Well, what did
Not
it used to
good.
be? The Spirit Halloween.
I think it was a Hollywood video.
Well,
Yeah. Well, think about that.
think about that.
This is also probably unrelated, but I'm going to bring up my roommates because
Gotcha.
they would have been really sad if they watched this episode and they weren't included in it at all.
Okay.
So we're going to tell a story. The other day we were talking about witchcraft, and I don't know how we got on the topic of witchcraft, but we were talking about it, and my roommate said, "Oh, I've always wanted to try that," and I was like, "No, no, you
Which
don't."
roommate? Call her out.
It was Tina. I don't care.
Freaking Tina.
Tina Turner.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to try that." And I was like, "No, like you definitely don't." And
Yeah.
she was like, "No, like just for fun." And I was like, "No, like it's biblical. Like you like can't do that."
You can't do that for fun.
And
Bad call, Tina. Not a good idea.
we were talking about it, and we were arguing about whether or not it's actually in the Bible. And I mean, not to call them out, I'm the only one that's ever read it.
Okay.
So I was like, "No, like guys, it's in there."
Interesting that the two that are from where the Bible was written.
That's true. They are.
I've not
Well,
read
they
the
don't
book.
have to read it. They're related to him.
Right. Well,
Just
I don't.
kidding. I'm
okay,
just kidding.
I don't know if
I'm
that.
just kidding.
I don't know if that.
Where are they
That's an
from?
ongoing joke for them. Anyway, my point of the story is we were arguing about whether or not witchcraft was in the Bible. And Tina says to me, "Delaney, it literally happened in Salem." And I was like, "Okay, what?" She's like, "The Bible wasn't written in Salem." She thought witchcraft was invented during the Salem witch trials. It didn't exist
Crazy.
before then.
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
She thinks that Americans invented witchcraft,
That's
Yeah.
a head scratcher.
which that was. I don't know if it was actually witchcraft or if it was. I heard something that like, everyone was on mushrooms or something. Like the water was
For the
tainted.
Salem witch trials?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, so
they
they-
didn't understand women.
Oh well.
do you mean they
who
didn't
does?
understand?
Am I right?
That was it. They thought women were witches because
Yeah, hit
women
that
were like
thing.
being women.
Hit that thing. Love you, Michaela.
Like women would have like health issues.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd be like, "Well, it's probably because you're a witch."
Yeah. It's like
Simple
what is it?
times. Simple times.
Mob mentality type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Happens.
Just like cancel culture today.
Yeah.
Except
I
you
guess
just
so.
kill people instead of
Well-
demeaning their entire character publicly.
And
What does that?
And what's the difference? Some people deserve it. Some people don't.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Dilly, did you
Stone
talk about
'em.
the thing you wanted to talk about?
No, I was just going to
Oh,
bring
sorry.
up a topic that we were talking about before we started recording this, where Alek mentioned that he believes tropical smoothies are essentially what?
Slushies.
Yeah, this is weird
They are
because
slushies.
Because they're just simply a different thing. Like there's a slushy
yeah,
and there's a smoothie.
Yeah, but you've never been to a smoothie shop where you just see them rip out all the ingredients and it's so fresh looking. And they make you a smoothie and you
And
take
that
a
makes
sip
you
and
think
it's
of a
so
slushie?
thick and you go, that's a smoothie. But when I go to tropical, sometimes I'll take a sip and I'm like, this is just a slushie with some flavoring
I
added.
disagree completely.
here's what I'm gonna say. I agree with Delaney that you're wrong, but if you convince me for like one more minute, I'll flip.
Okay.
Guys, fun
my
fact
phone's
about
over
Max,
there.
I cannot convince him of anything. It doesn't matter how right I am. Max is so convinced by any other man in the room.
So true.
If there is a man speaking and I am speaking, it doesn't matter what they're saying. He's going to believe them.
Okay,
So
hear me
true.
out.
Well,
Here's
yeah.
why. Here's why.
Convince me.
Okay, so I always get. It's called the Bahama Mama. It's like 440 calories, and you know those things are the size of your head. A tropical smoothie. Long story short, I go in there
Max
and
is
I'm
trying to
watching them make
compute
it. Okay, and yes, there's a couple of fruits in it. I know that's what makes a smoothie a smoothie.
A couple of fruits.
That's organic and chopped up and put in there. Okay.
The blue raspberries.
Yes. No. But
Yes.
I watched them pump. I'm pretty sure some juice in there.
Yeah.
And then they put ice in it. So here's the thing. When you go get a slushie at Circle K, all it is syrup with shredded up, mixed up, fine ice at a certain temperature.
grinded.
When I go to Tropical Smoothie, you can get one, I bet, without fruit. You can go, just give me that syrup, and then they do it, and then you're only drinking a smoothie.
It's not syrup. It's fruit juice.
Isn't that what syrup is?
No.
Is
No,
fruit
syrup
juice?
is syrup, bro.
Syrup is it's like sugar and like
So there's syrup that's just synthetic sugar, and there's syrup that's
your
from fruit.
juice is fruit. It's just squeezed fruit.
So all that it requires for something to be a smoothie. So we can agree that that category of drinks is ice at a certain temperature blended to a certain consistency. But what changes what it's called is the origin of the ingredients. So
That's
a
with
slushie,
anything.
Yeah, and also the
Oh my
consistency.
gosh.
I would say it's not smoothies are thicker.
but they're not at Tropical.
They are.
Tropical feels like I'm sipping a slushie.
When's the last time you've had a slushy?
A little while ago. A year.
Because
No, you and
I feel like they're like pretty thick.
Which one do you get?
I always get the strawberry banana or the blimey limey.
Can you get one of the Bahama
the
Mamas
mango
next time
one.
and tell me?
I've never had that one. What is that?
I think, is it called a Bahama Mama? No,
I feel
sunset,
like no.
sunrise.
Whoa, those are
Sunset,
very
sunrise.
different names.
That is the one. It's called a sunset
that
sunrise.
one's got the mango and pineapple,
Really?
right?
Yeah, that one to me
I've had
tastes
that
like
one.
a slushie. It's not thick.
It is thick because they put like yogurt in it. That's what makes it thick.
Oh, okay. Wow, that was one of the dumbest discussions I've ever.
Yogurt makes it the smoothie.
Yogurt can be in a smoothie. Yogurt can't be in
Have
a
you ever had a
slushie.
smoothie that's so thick that you try and slurp it up and it literally starts to like hurt your face?
Yes, and you know what?
Yeah.
Always from Trop.
Let me ask you this, Alec. By your logic, is a
But that's just 'cause I
milkshake,
don't get smoothies
a
anywhere else.
slushie, and a smoothie and a parfait, is that all the same thing?
A milkshake
Parfait
doesn't have ice in
Parfait
it.
is a crazy thing to add to that list.
Well, how is it different from? But for him, like, it's
For him?
the milking thing, the milk substance. is
Parfaits
the
don't
yogurt.
go into that.
And then the chunks.
Parfait is literally yogurt
With granola.
Well, you just said there's yogurt in something else.
in a smoothie.
But for me to say, like, Alec, his logic makes me think they're all the same
But
thing.
his logic is basically saying if it goes into a blender, it's a slushy. But
Like a hamster. A hamster could be a slushie.
whoa,
If you got it to a fine enough
No.
consistency.
no,
Ice-like consistency.
no. But what? Why would you add parfait into that list?
Because it's sort of the Frankenstein's monster of ice cream and slushy.
You never even brought up ice cream. Parfait is literally just yogurt
you're
with
right.
granola on
I
top.
meant to say milkshake when I said.
Oh, you said milkshake.
Yeah.
But
So what we're getting at, pretty much, my argument doesn't make sense, but there is a gray area. There's a gray area between a slushie and a smoothie. Is there somewhere in between?
yeah, I guess if it was like a fruit syrup,
Yes.
instead of.
Can we
but like
agree that
that's a
they're all
blue
beverages?
raspberry.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Except parfait.
Except
Parfait
parfait,
is yes.
Which is a snack.
which
Yes.
I don't know why he brought up.
Just like a blue raspberry has no business being in this discussion.
He's a blue raspberry.
He's trying to throw.
He was trying to make you think of slushies.
I sort of think that none of us think that they're the same.
Yeah, no, I don't. I
He didn't really argue for. He argued kind of against.
I ripped
He just
down my
didn't
own
have a
claim.
yeah.
I was like somebody on any of the major news networks in America. I just came on to prove a point and then dismantled on air.
Earlier, I was just talking about Sonic slushies, and he was like, "Yeah, I had a smoothie from Trop, and it's pretty much the same thing." I was like, "No."
Oh man, not my brightest moment. You know, you'll see more of those guys. So don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah. This pod's about to get a lot more fun with Alek on.
Yeah, so true.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm saying
It's
half
gonna
the
be
time.
crazy.
That's what we were saying before you got here. Max is like, "Hey, do you have anything to talk about? Because I haven't been here in a while." And I was like, no, but Alek is going to be here. And words just start spewing out of his mouth. So
Yeah.
It's true. You know what? I want to tell you guys something real quick. Do you either of you have something you wanted to say?
No.
Okay. I have a sugar
Never.
addiction. Let me show you.
Oh, I know. He came in with candy.
Oh.
3 pieces of candy. Nerds Gummy Clusters. We're not sponsored, but hey, I'm famous now. Feel free to sponsor me. Feel free.
They're so good.
Thank you. And thank you, Jesus, for giving these people the knowledge to make this
Agree.
blessed 42%, 21 grams of added sugar
And here's the thing, dude.
product.
Like, we grew up with Nerd Ropes,
These are way
so
better.
real.
which is just those.
But longer, honestly,
Longer?
I think the ropes are better.
They might be better, but they were so much more expensive.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, like $2 each, and this is like
For
for
like
inflation.
a couple seconds of
Fun
ecstasy. But those...
for detachment from reality. $2.
You can eat those until you get sick, and for just $2 more.
Yes.
Essentially, you get those for like $4, right?
Yeah, like
Don't really know about
$4.
them.
And you get like 10 times more than you do in the rope.
Yeah. So I just what I wanted to tell you guys is I've never been addicted to anything in my life before
That's good.
until now.
Oh.
So I became addicted to sugar, legitimately addicted.
But you get the shakes.
Yeah.
Not right now because he's literally eating sugar.
But no, so Michaela and I went to Mexico, and I had a couple sugary drinks there, and I had only been drinking water pretty much for like 6 years. I don't like putting flavored stuff in my drinks. Ever since then, I'm having a hard time drinking water. Like, it's boring to me, and it's never happened to me my whole life. And I love sugar more than I ever have. So here's when I realized I had an addiction. Michaela kept telling me for like 3 months, she's like, you need to start eating healthy. You're gonna get addicted to sugar, and you're gonna get obese. And I was getting obese.
Your Michaela impression is... it's something.
This is her voice. Would you look and see if there's a tick on my head?
Will you check
So-
and see if there's a tick in my mouth?
You're gonna get addicted to
that's
sugar.
not all
You're
what
literally gonna get
Michaela
addicted to sugar. So anyway, okay, I woke up to let the dog out at like 4 a.m. And this is when I realized I was addicted in my head. I was subconscious previously. I go to let the dog out, and so I leave the door open, and she's outside, and I'm like, I'm really parched. And there's a bottle of water right next to me, okay? And there's a candy bowl in the middle of the kitchen. I look at the water. This is 4 a.m. My eyes are squinting. I'm barely awake. And I reach in and grab a heart-shaped Reese's cup, pop the whole thing in my mouth and eat it, and it hydrates my whole mouth from the sugar.
That's disgusting.
And I was like, like the chocolate, and it melted. And
that's terrible.
And the sugar.
How could that be? It's peanut butter. It's so dry.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but it like
And chocolate's
hydrated me, okay? I thought it did. And I come back to bed. And the next week, a week goes by, and Michaela goes, why aren't you eating sugar? I like put it all in a bag, every piece of sugar in the house, and hid it in the closet because I couldn't stop eating it when I walked by. And I go, I have to tell you something. She got so serious, like, dude, I think she literally thought I was gonna tell her I was having an affair or something. Like, she sat up, she was like this, and she's very pregnant right now on top of all this. She sits up, she's like a little bit pale, she's like, what? And I'm like, it's serious. Like, the other night I woke up to let Millie outside and I ate a piece of candy, and she goes, okay. And then a couple more seconds go by, and she goes, didn't you wake up at like 4:17 a.m.? And I was like, yes. And she literally rolled on the ground and was crying. She was laughing so hard. She just does, because she has one of those Aura rings. And I'll wake up and go, oh, how'd you sleep? I slept like an angel last night.
Means.
Do you know what an Aura ring is?
Does it like monitor your...
So you put it on it, yeah, it monitors your heart rate and everything, and it tells you how many times you woke up sleeping in the middle of the night. It's really cool, actually. But anyway, she wears it at night, and she goes, how'd you sleep last night? And I go, like an angel. And she's like, I hate when you say that. I'm pregnant. I'm miserable. I can't sleep. And you got up last night to let Millie out, and it woke me up. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And she's like, yeah, I did. Pulls out her phone, her app, 4:17 a.m. That's how she knew. But have you guys ever been like addicted to something? Like, it's actually hard for me. Like, I didn't eat sugar all day, and then I saw this, and I ate like 20 pieces before I even got here in the car.
Yeah, I have an addictive personality.
He showed up. Especially showed up. He walked in. He set those down. He said, "Do you guys want candy?" And pulled out a handful of candy out of his pocket and just had it.
Yeah, I'm addicted.
You know, the past couple nights I've fallen asleep in just underwear. Then when I wake up in the morning, I have pants on.
That has nothing to do with it.
So you're addicted to pants?
I guess so. I guess you could say I'm a pantsaholic. Yeah. I guess.
The other day, I fell asleep in this exact outfit. And
you woke up in that exact outfit.
Well, I did wake up in this exact outfit. And I went downstairs. And I was like, guys, I'm so sick. And my roommates were like, yeah, you fell asleep in jeans. And then I sat there and I talked to them for a little bit. And my roommate goes, hon, you only have one earring in.
Rough night.
It literally was like I had a rough night, except it was the middle of the day. I came home from class and I crashed on my bed.
Dude, you know, jeans have to be the most uncomfortable. Like, what pants did you put on? Because jeans, I mean, you know you're sick, man, if you fall.
Exactly.
Jeans are like wearing sandpaper to sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like me
so
when I pissed my pants and I was so tired I couldn't get them off, so I just fell asleep in them.
That's
what?
And I wasn't even drunk.
And he couldn't have been.
But maybe because I was up so late, it was sort of that.
I had the flu.
Yeah.
That was why I did
that can make you a little delirious.
I peed myself once.
Yeah? Just once?
Recently.
Oh, recently.
Like
this week?
Last night. That's serious, bro.
What?
That's serious.
Happens, bro. What you
mean? This has never happened to me before, but it happened to me like a month ago, and I couldn't figure out why. It wasn't like a lie. It was just like a little bit.
Weekly.
I couldn't figure out why weekly happens to him. So whenever I work like 2 or 3 night shifts in a row, and then I like stay up all day so that I can flip back to a normal day shift sleep schedule. Yeah, I will. So I'll be awake like 24 to 36 hours straight without resting. Like, I'm not even sitting on the couch. I'm just awake doing stuff for that long. And this has never happened to me my whole life. I used to pull all-nighters all the time. But I think I'm getting older, and my body is so tired I don't wake up when I have to go. Like, I'm so tired I can't wake up.
You gotta be like 50 until that starts.
Yeah,
I know. Is that, like, I'm concerned, bro.
Well, I think your body's just so exhausted.
Yeah. That's got to be what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's age. I think it's just general exhaust.
I mean, let me ask you this. Do you have trouble peeing when you're fully awake and just standing in front of the toilet?
What do you mean, trouble?
It's tough to get a stream going?
No.
Then you're fine. I think you're fine.
Yeah, I think you just need to start sleeping normal hours.
Just starts going, I think you have cancer, bro.
Let me ask you this. You got a lump? When's the last time you checked for a lump?
Guys, every time I go to the doctor, this is like every time I'm going to the doctor for the past like 5 times, they have tried to convince me that I am either having a cryptic pregnancy or actively having a miscarriage. Every single time I've gone in.
What are your symptoms?
Well, last time I went in with flu symptoms, and they were like, we're going to pregnancy test you. And I was like,
could you be pregnant? No. Could you maybe think you're pregnant?
I went into the ER. I went into the ER recently. Oh my gosh, I haven't told this story.
No.
Okay, well, I won't tell the whole story because it's like kind of gross. But I'll pretty much tell you, I was having some pretty bad cramps, girly problems. And so I wanted to go to urgent care. So I went to urgent care and I passed out in urgent care while trying to fill out my forms. And then...
Oh my gosh.
This is also crazy. So I couldn't eat anything. My roommate got me Gatorade. So I drank a bottle of Gatorade. I was feeling a little bit better. I went to urgent care. I got really sick at urgent care. I passed out while filling out my forms. I ran to the bathroom after I got up, obviously. And I passed out again in the bathroom. And then I threw up the entire bottle of Gatorade. And I have not thrown up since I was like 6 years old.
Did anyone witness you passing out?
No,
or was it like for... Okay.
Yeah. The receptionist and then the girl who took me.
Were you standing or are you sitting?
Sitting.
Oh, okay.
So... I passed out while filling out my forms. I ran to the bathroom and I threw up. And like, I genuinely have been saying this for years. I don't know how to throw up. Like, I couldn't force my body to if I wanted to. And like, I got to the toilet and the entire bottle of Gatorade poured out of me.
That's crazy.
It was insane.
How long did you go without eating before that?
It had probably been at least 20 hours.
20 hours?
So it was all Gatorade.
So yeah, there was nothing in me but Gatorade.
There's so much sugar in it too. Like, if your body was empty for so long, it might have freaked out.
Well... Also, what was happening to me was insane. So then I come back out of the bathroom and the receptionist is standing there and my friend who had driven me was carrying all my stuff and she's like, she told me to take you to the ER. And I was like, okay. So we go to the ER, we check in. I'm feeling a lot better at the ER. And I'm like with the lady who's like checking you in, like taking all your vitals, and she was like, when was your last period? She said, are you sexually active? And I said, no. She goes, okay, is there any chance that you're pregnant? And I was like, didn't I just answer that question? Like, no.
She's like, I just have to fill out the form, ma'am.
And she's like, okay, well, did you take a pregnancy test? And I was like, no. She's like, then I'm going to need you to take one. And I was like, are you not listening to me? Like, I'm not pregnant. And she sat there and then she tried to convince me that I was pregnant and that I was having a miscarriage. And that's why I kept passing out.
Interesting. Now, it could be immaculate conception.
Which
Like
is what
Mary.
my roommate said.
Right. But could you immaculate conception and also lose the baby? My guess would be no.
Probably not. That's so real. I could have been
What
giving
if the
birth.
second coming of Christ was supposed to come through you, but you went to the ER and you missed your opportunity?
I missed my opportunity. Well, then I passed out in the ER bathroom, and then I waited for 5 hours. Or no, I waited for like 3 hours, and I went and I checked, and they were like, it's going to be at least 5 more hours. And I was like, no.
In the waiting room?
In the waiting room
That's terrible.
of the ER.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm going to go home. Also, people kept coming in with stab wounds. I was like, I'm never getting in.
Is it,
Wow.
So they rush you? Is that true? If you get stabbed, that you get like
Yeah.
a fast pass?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So if you,
Yeah.
need
You
to
should have
get back-
stabbed yourself.
I should have. Actually, I thought about that. I was like, what if I just like...
Why
Yeah.
did you stab yourself?
You should have
dude?
walked in like, I'm leaving, and then walk outside, stab yourself. Like, somebody just stabbed me outside the ER.
You know what else works fast? If you tell them that your heart is like 150 beats a minute or you can't breathe, it's airway, breathing, circulation. So if you have something wrong with your airway or your heart pumping, they instantly bring you back.
Yeah, if it's your stomach, they simply don't care.
They don't. It takes
I
a while to
swallowed
die
a
from your
knife.
stomach.
I walked outside, and then
That guy got stabbed, but I
and then
swallowed one.
swallowed that knife. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, there
Yeah.
you go, the trifecta, set her through.
You know what? It's funny you said the pregnancy thing. When McKaylee and I were engaged, I took her because her heart rate was like 160 for like a while straight, which is really dangerous. And this was at rest. And we went back there, and the first question they asked her, are you pregnant? No. Are you sexually active? No. And then they literally look at me and they go, and they look at her and they go, we're still going to test you. And I'm like, huh. Like, I'm the other half, and I'm telling you, in addition to her, there's nothing going on here, brother. And I like walked out of the room after, and I was standing in the hallway because McKaylee was like giving them a urine specimen for it. And the nurse goes, we've had the female say that she's not before. And then we
'Cause you're in
found
the
out
room.
she was.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm sure they have to
Right.
ask you certain questions.
No,
anyway.
like
Right.
they said they've had females come in there with their significant other, and the significant other's worried about them, and they didn't know that the female was cheating on them the whole time, like the Maury show.
yeah,
Yeah.
Crazy.
yeah. I'm sure
Well,
that
mine, I
happened.
was just like, I was so adamant. I was like, I promise you, there is absolutely zero chance that I'm pregnant. She's like, I think you are.
What would you have done if it came back positive?
I don't know because there's no way.
aliens.
So I would've been like, probably wouldn't go to aliens. But I probably would think it was
Furl
false
would.
positive. Like something else would have had to have been wrong with me.
Yeah. Well, everything's good now.
I can't.
I
you know.
have a couple more doctor's appointments scheduled to figure it out.
Nice. That's good. That's good. I guess that's the one good thing about being a guy, right? When we like, I feel like girls, there's a lot of symptoms you can have related to pregnancy, where they might try and write it off as that. If a guy goes, they're not like,
Well, yeah,
"Or are you pregnant?"
Could you be pregnant?
because if you don't get pregnant, your body like hates you and tries to kill you.
What?
Not really, but like,
So if you never got pregnant your whole life,
yeah, then your body's constantly
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
freaking out because your body wants a baby in it.
so you got to get pregnant at some point.
So like that's
feed
that's
the
what
monster.
a period is.
Oh yeah.
You guys are aware of this.
The
Yes,
sloughing
you're
off.
you're in
Sloughing off.
health.
the
So
sloughing
I-
off of the wall. That's right. Now the
The
internal.
endometrium.
So like every month that you don't form a baby, your body's like, well, screw you,
That's interesting, and it starts
and then
so
it tries
young.
to kill you.
So you should be having one every time, is what
Every
your
month.
body's saying.
You should be getting pregnant every month.
12 babies a year.
Crazy that people used to
That's
have
crazy.
babies at like 14, right? I mean, I guess they still do
Dude,
sometimes.
King
but
Tut
Yeah.
was balling. He was like 14.
Guys, how old
wasn't
are
he
your
dead
parents?
by like 19?
I've been
I don't know if
having
that's balling.
Hey,
some
rockstar
realizations
life.
lately.
Our parents,
How old are your parents?
50-ish.
Okay, that's not crazy.
50 and 46.
Okay, that's not crazy either. All of my friends' parents are so much older than mine.
How old?
Well, my parents are both 42, 43.
Wow, your parents are young.
But my grandparents are 60.
Yeah, mine are like 63, 62.
And like I feel like all of my friends are like telling me their parents are like in their 60s, and I'm like, that's so weird to me.
Well, it's weird how many people
had
Was
kids
your mom
so
a
young.
teen pregnancy?
Was my mom a teen pregnancy?
Yeah.
No, but my dad was.
Oh, okay.
Like they
Yeah,
had
same
me.
for me.
They had me at 23, but my grandparents had my dad at 17.
Okay, yeah.
Same here.
Yeah,
My
that
grandma's only like 12 years older than my dad.
And my other grandma is my mom's stepmom, and she's only 11 years older than my mom.
It's like Gilmore Girls.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not at all the plot of Gilmore Girls. Not even a little bit the plot of Gilmore Girls. That is a teen pregnancy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, I have a question for you guys.
Yep.
I saw you do your intro.
Yeah.
How
Oh.
do you do your outro?
Oh well, let's show you.
God, it's been so
Also, next time we'll figure out how to invite Alek into the intro.
Yeah, we'll just wing it.
did.
Did we make that clear? Alex a host.
I'm a host.
And so
He's coming
sometimes-
back.
Yeah. Sometimes Alec will be on. Sometimes Delaney will be on. Sometimes it'll be both of them. I'll
guessing.
probably be here all the time, but maybe
It
not.
is Max's equipment. It is my camera though. That one. I
Yeah.
don't know if you can still see us on that one,
Yeah, I don't know either.
but if you can, that's my camera. Hi.
So yeah. So we're all hosts officially at this point.
We did it.
Oh, that was a really sad applause. Do you have to hold it down? Oh, that's awkward.
I don't know why.
It's too bad your legs aren't long enough.
Yeah, I would not do that.
I don't like the way you just
Be
wiggled your
afraid to hit a different
toes.
button.
What do you say?
I didn't like the way you wiggled your toes.
Do you have a problem with
Yeah, I do.
my toes?
Cameras can't see that.
It's uncomfortable, guys.
Make this the, what's it called?
The thumbnail.
The thumbnail.
I don't know if we're
We
trying to get
normally,
those viewers.
Alek, to answer your question, normally I get bored of the conversation and I say,
So true.
hit that outro.
And I say, all right, guys, let's wrap it up. And then I always forget how to do the outro.
It's so true, and I always have to remind him what to say.
And this time's no different. I say, guys, did we have fun?
Yep, you ask them if they have any
Yeah.
final words.
Oh, do you have any final? We're all hosts. What I asked the
That's
hosts.
so true. We don't ask
I normally
Alek.
ask the guests, but since we have no guests on this one, this is the first one we haven't had any guests
There's
on.
no final words.
Technically.
Technically.
Yeah.
I guess
We're a lot of technics on this podcast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of technics. A lot of shifting around of hosts sometimes.
sometimes we have a host for one episode and then they never come back.
Yeah.
Gosh, like Kanye West.
Happened one time.
Kanye West.
It was not Kanye West. That has nothing to do with this at all.
And then I say, don't forget to slam that thumb button.
Thumb button. It's slam your finger into the like button.
And you can do either one. Into it.
Into it. Inside
Don't forget
of
to
it.
slam your thumb inside, deep in the depths of the like button.
Okay, if you're like, I guess you would like with your thumb if you were like on your phone. I guess that does
Unless
make
you're
sense.
Unless you didn't
grandma.
have thumbs. Think about that. All inclusive.
All inclusive. We
you're-
don't
if you're
care
just
if
fingers.
you have thumbs.
If you're just fingers.
If you have hate for the like button because you don't have a thumb, we apologize. Just tell
also-
us that you enjoy our video.
It's also not our problem.
That's not very inclusive
Yeah.
of you.
I'm sorry.
And share this. Again, it's a Have Fun podcast. So if you're not having fun, don't watch the podcast.
So real.
But if you are, send it to a friend.
Yeah.
Or a celebrity, a real one.
Oh yeah, if you're a celebrity, come on, because we need a celebrity to do the thing that we want to do.
Yeah, which is essentially where we interview you as if you're our friend.
Yes, yeah. That's what the thing is. That's what the thing is.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then I say,
Don't forget.
and don't forget. So that's it. We don't have anything else we want to say.
No.
No.
And don't forget to have fun.
No olvides divertirte.
Adios, amigos.
Anchor up.
Is this a gang sign?
You just listened to a Have Fun podcast.